He came in and worked hard and got better and better as the year went on. He has a strong arm. He makes some tough throws, definitely made it hard on me in practice each and every week, going against whoever I was covering, making some great throws. It allowed me to get better in practice and to prepare for the games. 11-year veteran Brian Hoyer and Cody Kessler out of USC are also in the Patriots quarterback mix. On that note, we bring in our guy, Marcus Spears. Always good to see you, Marcus. Hope you had a fabulous weekend. Max Kellerman, this is coming right to you. Could Stidham be the replacement for Tom Brady?
Yes, he could. I mean, just as Tom Brady once upon a time was not a heralded quarterback who came in as a low draft pick. And no, it doesn't mean Stidham's the next Tom Brady. You know, you may have to wait a long time before you see the next Tom Brady anywhere. But can he be a good quarterback, good enough to win double digits with the Patriots? It's certainly possible. He beat Alabama in 2017. Well, listen, Stidham, if you go all the way back to high school, was one of the two best recruits in the country. And then in college had that promising 2017 where he, as I mentioned, beat Alabama and showed a strong arm and a quick release and all this stuff. And then in 18 he regressed, and that's why he slid in the draft. But preseason last year, he was just about as good as anybody. Recall, people were raving about him, and he hasn't really had a chance to play since then. So have we seen him hit great heights, like compared to his contemporaries? Yes. Did the Patriots think enough to grab him? Yes. Is he the front runner to take the job now, and they've passed on a lot of veteran quarterbacks? Yes. I mean, that means Belichick likes what he sees. Now, I still believe that if they have the chance to grab someone like Matthew Stafford, a guy a difference maker in terms of his talent, a high completion percentage kind of guy, strong arm and a veteran, sure, they could do it if the price is right for draft picks, whatever. But barring some move like that, I don't think, they didn't look at Teddy Bridgewater and say, okay, that's good enough. They clearly think that Stidham is at least as good as that, at least for the money. And Matt Castle is the guy. Everyone talks about Belichick. Well, he didn't really win. Look at his career record before he met Tom Brady. Oh, stop. Look at his career record since he's been with the Patriots, or his Patriots record. He has more than twice as many wins as losses without Tom Brady. He's 13-6 since he became the Patriots GM and coach. So if he thinks Stidham is good enough for a 12-win to take over a 12-win team and still compete for the playoffs, then yeah, I think Stidham's probably good enough.
To be quite honest with you, this is one of those situations where I have to completely defer to Marcus Spears, my man Swagoo, because obviously doing an exceptional job with the SEC Network with Paul Feinbaum, Tim Tebow, and the crew. Y'all saw this guy, Jarrett Stidham. I did it. I mean, the 2 years at Auburn, what was he, 10-4 and like 8-5? I know that in 2017, he completed 66% of his passes. Only threw 18 touchdowns each season, but he completed 66% of his passes. And then there's a 6% drop-off the next year at 60%. And obviously, Auburn didn't have the same record. Y'all know how I love Alabama. You know how I love Nick Saban. And I guess that if you're Bill Belichick with the great relationship you have with a Nick Saban, and by the way, it's must-see television to watch Belichick, Saban, The Art of Coaching. I watched that this past weekend. It was a great, great program. I really enjoyed listening to the both of them. I suppose that if you're Bill Belichick, I can't imagine you just looked at Stidham yourself without talking to a guy like Saban who coached against him and didn't feel confident. So I guess your argument would suffice, Max. My thing is this. When you regress on the collegiate level, why the hell should I believe in you on the pro level? That's my deal. It wasn't like he had a new coaching staff because somebody was on, it was still there and what have you. I'm not sold on it, so I get it. He's no scrub. I'm not trying to disrespect him in any way, but am I sold that Stidham is the, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right, by the way. I don't even know, but I'll go with it. All Stidham. I'm saying is, am I sold on this brother being the quarterback for the New England Patriots in the future for years to come? No, I'm not moved.
Yeah. Well, we have two things working in this conversation. First of all, back in 2000, when Tom Brady was drafted by New England, we didn't expect quarterbacks to play right away. That was the number one thing, especially when you get drafted in the 6th round. Being thrust into this position that New England has been, which I agree to Max's point, like it looks late in the succession plan to replace a guy for 20 years. It's not like you was going to bring anyone in there to say, hey, we just going to pick this thing up and keep rolling because of what Tom Brady has done for the last 20 years. But with that being said, Jarrett Stidham, a little history on Jarrett Stidham, Stephen A., and I appreciate you deferring to me. At Auburn, it was not the best system for him. Gus Malzahn was more of an RPO, more of an athletic quarterback. His system works better in that regard. Jarrett Stidham came in from a high-powered Big 12 team, Baylor, passing the ball, throwing it all over the yard, so he can push the ball downfield. He can throw the football in an elite manner. He did some athletic stuff against Alabama to win the game. The second part to this is, to Max's point, we don't know. We don't know what type of situation, first of all, Jarrett Stidham is going to be in. We don't know his ceiling because he hasn't worked with Josh McDaniels. He hasn't worked with this offensive team that New England has in order to get ready for a season. So to be sitting here today saying Jarrett Stidham is ready to take over, is ready to usher the New England Patriots into a 12-win season would be asinine of all of us because we don't know.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.